Little bit of a controversial video today. I'm going to tell you not to invest in something, and that might sound completely counterintuitive because this channel is solely based on Pokemon card investing. And why would you listen to me if I'm telling you not to invest in something? Surely a Pokemon investing channel would only tell you where to park your money and how to make money by investing in good sealed product, good singles and good slabs. Well, it's not always about that, isn't it? Sometimes it's about delving a little bit deeper. There are things that are better to invest in than others. And here's my advice. I would not be going heavy into Perfect Order and Chaos Rising. I don't think these are the best investments or the best places to park your money right now. And I know that might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going to back it up with some thoughts and opinions on this topic. Well, when it comes to sets and investing in sets, everyone talks about print runs and allocations and what's being hyped and what's on social media and what's on YouTube. At the end of the day though, there's one thing that matters in my opinion. There really is. And there's other small things that play a part. But the one big thing that stands out more than anything else, which really matters to the future investability of a set, is the chase cards. How good are they? Now, let's take a look at the chase cards from both Perfect Order and Chaos Rising. Here's Perfect Order right here. We have, of course, Meowth. We have a couple of Mega Zygardes in a special illustration rare and a gold card. We have a Mega Clefable. There's Starmie inside here as well. But overall, you could say the chase cards are quite weak. And if we show up on the screen here, Chaos Rising as well. These are the special illustration rares released for Chaos Rising. Now, I like Greninja. Greninja is a fan favorite Pokemon. It is. If you do all the polls on the internet and Google around, about fan favorite Pokemon, what you'll always find is Greninja seems to place in the top 10. But the bigger question is Greninja a top 10 investor / collector / grail card based Pokemon? And you might be going, what do you mean by that? That's a stupid term to throw around. Grail card Pokemon, what even is that? Well, if we look across the history of the TCG and we look at Pokemon that have just held up the test of time for very expensive chase cards, what you'll find is we always get cards, of course, like Charizard, Pikachu, Gengar, Mew, Mewtwo, Rayquaza, Dragonite. You get the point. There's some that all the evolutions like Umbreon, you get the point. There's cards that stand the test of time throughout different eras that when we get a chase card of them, people get excited. Now look, I love the Greninja from Twilight Masquerade. I think that is an awesome chase card. It is one of the best chase cards of the whole Scarlet and Violet era, in my opinion. I also think it's a better chase card than the one that comes in Chaos Rising. I'm not a huge fan of the artwork from the one from Chaos Rising. So with all that in mind, I think we need to go back to the point I just made. When it comes to investing in a set in the future, the one thing that really matters is the chase cards. Now there's other things that come into play. Print runs, of course, do come into play. Other things like nostalgia do come into play. That's why sets like the 20th anniversary and even the 25th anniversary, and the 25th anniversary being quite a weak set really, has started to tick up in price quite a lot as a sealed product because it carries nostalgia behind it. So there's a lot of other small things, there's a lot of other small factors in play here, but the one thing that stands out, in my opinion, more than others is the chase cards. And with the chase cards comes total set value. And if we look at the total set value of Perfect Order, of course, Chaos Rising doesn't have raw card prices yet, but Perfect Order's total set value is $957. Predominantly driven by two cards, of course, the Meowth and the Mega Zygarde. Now, if you think about that, $957, there's individual cards from individual sets. For example, Ascended Heroes, the Mega Gengar is more expensive than that. The Pikachu SIR is more expensive than that. That's one individual card. The Sunbreon from Prismatic Evolutions is more expensive than that. One individual card. The Bubble Mew from Padawan Fates is nearly as expensive as that. One individual card pretty much holding up the total set value of a whole set. Crazy, isn't it? So let's delve into some opinions on this. I talked about great investments having chase cards. And I think we should rephrase this. Good investments have a chase card. Great investments have multiple chase cards. And once in an era investments have multiple amazing chase cards. And here's what I mean by that. Let's delve into that a little bit more. One chase card can push up a booster box price very rapidly, and it can sort of hold it there for quite some time. And eventually maybe it'll run out of steam and take a while to go back up in price again. And the most modern example of that is Phantasmal Flames. It has an incredible chase card, but it's really just one. Okay, the Gold Charizard's pretty good, but everyone's chasing the SIR Charizard. The awesome artwork with Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, and of course, the big dog on there, Mega Charizard. Like, that's what everyone is chasing. That one card has very rapidly pushed up that box price. Is it enough to sustain it and keep pushing it up into the stratosphere? In my opinion, no, it's not. I think it's going to do something similar to Burning Shadows. Burning Shadows did the same thing. We had this awesome Rainbow Charizard that everyone was chasing. It was very expensive in a PSA 10. It pushed box price up rapidly. And then you know what? Other sets from Sun and Moon quickly overtook it. And look, I think that's what's going to happen with Phantasmal Flames. I do think, however, of course, and I've mentioned this in other videos, that Phantasmal Flames Charizard is a stronger Charizard than Burning Shadows Charizard. So maybe it'll have some legs for a little bit longer. But the point remains, one chase card, a really strong one, can push booster box prices up. If we have multiple chase cards, like I'm talking 2 or 3 or 4, you get a set like Fusion Strike, where it really does push along the set quite strongly, and it becomes a mid to top tier set from the era. That's what Fusion Strike's done. You've got Gengar, you've got Espeon, you've got a Mew VMAX and a Mew V, both in alternate arts, and a Celebi inside there, so you have 5 really strong chase cards. And that has really spurred along the set. And then you get the generational sets, the sets that have like 10 or a dozen chase cards inside them. A set like Evolving Skies, and you can see what that does for price. A set like Team Up, you can see what that does for price. You can see how much it spurs those sets along. And then you compare that to a set like Perfect Order and Chaos Rising, and it's not even in the same league. And then you ask yourself, like, and here's a bigger question, and this goes back to this comment I just made about Phantasmal Flames, and it's like, what is the card from these sets? Meowth, SIR? Is that a good enough card to even do what Phantasmal Flames Charizard's done to Phantasmal Flame? Push it up? Well, it doesn't seem that way, because Perfect Order booster boxes are not getting scalped. Like, they're sitting on the shelves. We have packs there. We have booster boxes there. They've actually dropped in price. And then you look at Chaos Rising and you ask yourself the same question. Like, the artwork is solid from these sets. I'm not saying they're terrible. I'm not saying don't invest in them because they're just going to sit there like Darkness Ablaze and be absolutely junk sets. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying the artwork's pretty solid. I'm saying there are way better places to invest your money because A, it doesn't have the chase card inside them. It doesn't have this one that's just going to send everyone into a frenzy. And we know what that does. And it sort of leads me into this final point, which is this whole idea behind hype. What happens when a set comes out, and this is what you shouldn't mistake. You shouldn't be mistaking new release hype for real demand. That's a really important point, and I want to touch on that just after we give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. This is the one-stop shop for all your investing and collecting needs. You can put all your sealed and all your singles inside here. The analytics from an investing standpoint is so good. All the data, or quite a lot of the data I get from these videos is straight from the Collector app. I love looking at the set analytics. I love looking at the top chase cards. I love to see how my portfolio, my sealed portfolio, which I have inside Collector, is performing. You can do all that on the app. And as a pro user, the data it shows you on the time frame from cards, it goes way back in time, so you can see how things have been performing over time. This is the one-stop shop app, in my opinion. Again, there'll be a link in the description to download it. So back to that point, mistaking new release hype for real demand. Pokemon have you right where they want you, so to speak. The marketing is just phenomenal on these sets. So don't mistake that new release hype for real demand. Because what happens with new release hype, I want to compare it to a couple of sets. And here's where I see it. It almost reminds me a little bit of Scarlet and Violet era. You know, you get those sort of first couple of sets, which are pretty good. You get the Charizard base set, you get that initial base set, then you get that big holiday set, the one that just punches you and goes, here's a new era, we're ready to play, let's go. Like 151 for Scarlet and Violet, we got Ascended Heroes for Mega Evolution. It goes, here you go. You know, there are good artworks and there are good cards, good chase cards, and good sealed investments to come in Mega Evolution era. That's where Pokemon gets you. And then it releases a couple of, I suppose, lackluster sets. Those sets that are just those almost feel like filler sets. Not every set can be an absolute hyped up, crazy, amazing set. You get those filler sets. And if I go back to Scarlet and Violet, I think we could comfortably compare these to something like a Paradox Rift and Temporal Forces, where people will go, you know what, the artwork's not terrible. The artwork's actually pretty nice inside these sets. But you know what? Those sets have been out for 3+ years or 3 odd years, and you can still buy cases for $2,000 US. Like, that's what you've got to remember. Where should you park your money? 3 years ago, if you'd spent $2,000 US on something else, it would have bought you like 3 Evolving Skies booster boxes. It would have bought you some other investments like multiple Hidden Fates Elite Trainer boxes, which have gone absolutely crazy. It would have bought you so many 25th anniversary Elite Trainer boxes that have gone crazy. Sometimes it's good to think about where you should park your money. And I just don't think these are the sets to park your money into right now. When I said Pokemon have you right where they want you, you know what's coming around the corner after these sets? We have 30th anniversary, and of course we have a Rayquaza base set. After these almost what feels like filler sets, they're then going to go bang. And if you've been holding back any money from spending on these sets, you're going to be damn ready to spend it on 30th anniversary and some Rayquaza base set that's coming out at the end of the year. Well, there's my thoughts around Perfect Order and Chaos Rising. I don't think it's the best place to park your money right at this moment. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Thank you so much everyone for tuning in. Your support means so much, and I'll catch you all next time.